Jain, this is Praveen Singh, and today we will be covering the topic of Service Selection Board interview. In the Service Selection Board interview, the candidates who are appearing for the interview are taken in, and after the basic formalities of filling up the forms, they are made to appear to go through the screening test. And the screening test basically defines the personality of a person based on the PPDT test, which is full form is picture perception and the description test. In this test, you are given a picture on which you are supposed to write a story, and this story is supposed to have a character. This picture depicts a problem statement in which a hero or the character is supposed to give out a solution to that problem. For example, it might show an accident, it might show a situation in a hospital, in a war zone, or any such place. Being a person from school background or a college background, you are supposed to give a solution which is realistic as per your age and maturity. In this picture, you are supposed to ensure that the people who are the characters which are shown in the picture are the same which are being used in your story. For example, if the picture is showing school kids, your story should have the characters which are pertaining to the school kids or people of that age. If the picture is of depicting of people of old age or middle age, then your character in the stories cannot be the school students, or so it has to be something basically whatever you are perceiving. It should not be like that you are making a picture or making a story in which the characters are not matching which is being shown in the picture. So once you write up this story, your story is supposed to have a positive ending. A person, a hero or heroine who solves that problem and arrives at a solution which is a positive, which has a positive outcome. To ensure that, you have to see that you give the statement of the picture, what has happened just before that thing, that situation is shown in the picture, coming to the current problem or the current situation of the picture, and finally after what has happened after should come to a conclusion or to a solution. And most important part is the hero or the character in the story must be completing the task for which he has originally started for. For example, a student going to a school has seen an accident and has helped the victims, have called the ambulance or taken them to the hospital. After that, he or she are supposed to go to the school and must ensure that they go back to the school. So this is the basic concept of the PPDT test, which later is converted into a group discussions. Once you submit your stories, everyone submits their story. They are supposed to do a group discussion on the picture, and this picture is later made a topic for the group discussion of the all the candidates. The way you speak, the way you present yourself, the way the group arrives at a solution, or the way you present yourself defines whether you get selected for this screening test or not. It is quite noteworthy that more than 50% of the candidates are screened out, are rejected and sent home from the very first day of the Service Selection Board interview after the screening test. So ensure that you speak well, you speak confidently, you speak calmly, and you are able to clear the screening test. Once all those candidates who have cleared the screening test, they fill up their forms, PPDIT forms, PIQ forms, and they undergo the rest of the interview, which includes the psychological test, the ground test, and the personal interview. And the last day, you face a conference in which all the three interviewers, with the interviewing officer, the psychologist, and the GTO, they give their opinion about you. If all three of them give a positive response to you, you get selected. Otherwise, if any one of them gives a negative attitude or negative remarks for adverse remark for your selection, then the ball goes to the court of the president of the board. The president of the board might ask you some leading questions during the conference, in which he might decide whether you should be selected or you should be rejected. So from the first day, you will be undergoing the psychological test, in which there are various test series like word association test, picture appreciation test, and these all tests will definitely help you, the psychologist, to make a pen picture of you, and this pen picture is later presented to the interviewing officer while he is interviewing you. The questions are based on the psychological test that you have given on the day one or day after clearing your screening test. The same pen picture or the same kundali of yours goes to the GTO also, who sees you in picture of those officer like qualities which you are being judged. So psychological test is the basic important criteria to be successful in the service selection board interview. And I will also like to throw some light on the 15 officer like qualities on which you are judged in the psychological test or personal interview or during the ground test. So these qualities must be imbibed by you prior to going to the interview. These qualities cannot be learned overnight and has to be imbibed and inculcated over a period of time, making yourself aware of it, making you thinking about it, and learning your life activities in which these qualities have been displayed by you, or these qualities have been the real life examples must be there with you for each of these 15 officer like qualities, which you can represent or which you can project during the interview, during the GTO task, or even the psychological test. The hero or the characters during the psychological test, during your picture making or making the sentences out of words, the qualities of the heroes must resemble your qualities, and that's how you are being assessed during this service selection board interview. In the psychological test, one important thing which is very important is that during the picture association test, one slide is left blank. That is usually the last slide, in which there is no picture which is being shown, and you are supposed to write a story on it on a blank slide. So what does that mean, and what does that imply, and how to handle this situation? So most of the people do a mistake. They write some nonsense story there or a prefabricated story. It is not required to be done that way. You are supposed to write your own story, your own struggle, your own ambitions, your own dreams, your own desires, and this story must reflect your true self. So this is the way you can be able to clear the service selection board interview. And for the rest of the things, you can join our online classes which are being conducted regularly, and take tips and tricks to clear this service selection board interview examination. And I will like to reiterate that someone is knocking at the door, come in, and I am making a video, so that doesn't make any difference, because this video is supposed to be used to create an AI avatar, but that person knocking on the door is not coming inside. So let me see if we have made the 5 minutes video. Yes, we have. So thank you.